What is going on with the Seattle Seahawks? That is the big question today. There is a lot of moves happening in the NFL free agency, and the Seahawks are one of only a few teams that have not signed anybody from the outside. They have obviously brought back Leonard Williams. They have obviously brought back Noah Fant. I am happy about both those deals. We needed a tight end, and Leonard Williams needed to be a guy that was one of the anchors of our defensive line, so I'm happy about it. But when we go through this depth chart for the Seahawks defense, there are a lot of pieces missing, and we do have some offensive pieces that need to be taken care of as well. Let's look at this linebacker position. That's one of the big ones. Patrick Queen ended up going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. It was a piece that a lot of Seahawks fans believed was the potential piece that was going to be the big moment for the Seahawks. He ended up signing for 3 years, $41 million with the Steelers. It feels like, to me personally, humbly, that they probably should have just brought back Jordan Brooks at this point for that 3-year, $30 million deal he got from Miami. Give him an extra $2 million and see what happens. Make it 3 years, $33 million. Give him $11 a year because we're going to need somebody there. Currently on our depth chart, what's really concerning is I'm going to break it down by year. Like right now, this year, defensive end slot, you can put Draymond Jones for the next 2 years on contract. If he's gone, the next D-end on contract until 2026, there is Mike Morris, drafted from Michigan last year. Hopefully that works out. Nose tackle, we have Jaron Reed. The 2 years after that, the nose tackle they'll be probably on board there on the depth chart is Cameron Young, who we brought from the draft last year as well. Defensive end on the other side, we have Leonard Williams. He signed through 2026, this year, 2025, and the year after. Outside linebacker 1, Uchenna Nwasu is there for the next 3 years. Outside linebacker 2, we still have Boye Mafe for the next 2 years. And then after that, in 2026, I have Derek Hall written down as currently the guy that would be slotted there, who is also part of the draft. And this is where the two middle linebackers, the linebackers that we have on depth chart right now for the next 2 years, and nobody on the depth chart for 2026 from now. So we're going to have to make a move, and this is why everyone thought Patrick Queen was the move or Jordan Brooks coming back was the move. We have Patrick O'Connell and Drake Thomas. Now, before I'll get to the linebackers after I get through the depth chart, because it's going to be important to talk about what we missed on with Patrick Queen and why Jordan Brooks probably should have been brought back and why now maybe they do bring back Bobby Wagner on a 1-year deal and might have to slightly overpay, because a lot of teams and a lot of the biggest names are off the market. This is not a friendly market this year, money-wise, and how fast everyone's dropping like flies. So we've missed out, and I don't think they're going to want to go to the season with a rookie they draft for linebacker and Patrick O'Connell and Drake Thomas. That just does not seem like a Seattle Seahawks move or a Mike McDonald defensive move, right? His first-year head coach, he's going to want his middle linebacker to be somebody or some type of linebacker in there that he truly believes to run this defense. It's the quarterback of the defense. So I'm very interested to see what happens there. Tariq Woolen and Devin Witherspoon. Tariq is signed through 2024 and 2025. Witherspoon, obviously, until 2026, all 3 years. Free safety right now, Jarek Reed. He is coming off an injury. He was a great special teams player last year. He signed through 2026, all 3 years. I'm not sure what to think of this because he is coming off injury, and we didn't really get to see him out there much at that position. But he's definitely going to have a role, I believe. But still, we need somebody at the safety position. Another position I'm going to talk about that unfortunately is starting to get cleared up, and there's not that many options. And we did cut 2 of them. And we have Julian Love only signed on for next year, for like this coming year, 2024. He's not there 2025 or 26. And depth chart-wise, I'll add a punter. Michael Dixon's on this list. 2024, 2025. Don't need to sign anyone there. We're good at kicker. We're going to do the offense at another moment here. But I just wanted to talk about the depth chart for the defense because it is extremely important. There is not that many options currently. And like I said, 3 years, $41 million for Patrick Queen. I think that would have been a phenomenal deal unless you already brought back Jordan Brooks for the 3-year 30 or 3-year 33 is what they should have done in my humble opinion. But we missed out on Patrick Queen. I promise you a lot of people were not happy about it. He seemed like the exact answer to what we're missing here is having a well-paid and high leverage linebacker, especially coming from a guy who he was looking like a bust in his career until Mike McDonald came and then turned him into an all-pro. So I don't know if this is more out of our budget, we didn't want to pay it, two, or Mike McDonald said that might have been an anomaly and doesn't believe in it, or three is just that Patrick Queen did not want to sign with Seattle. I don't know. We know, but there's no information out there right now that says they offered him anything, so I can't give you like a full. I'm just saying what the three possible scenarios, from my perspective, could be. Those are the only three possible ones. Mike McDonald said it was a flash year. It's going to be an overpay. Two would be we wanted him, but it just was too much for our budget. And three, he just chose Pittsburgh. He maybe didn't even take the call, or maybe just not where he wanted to go. You look at things like Levante David, got a 1-year, $10 million deal to stay with the Buccaneers. That's an interesting one because I feel like, is that something that like Bobby Wagner gets? Or is that somebody that we could have went and got for 1 year, $10 million? But it'd be the same thing as like, you might as well keep Bobby Wagner. He's staying in Tampa Bay because he wants to be in Tampa Bay probably. Like, it's one of those, it's one of those, like, they want to stay home type of things. And then Demario Davis also got, I think, 2 years, $7.2 million. Both are linebackers from the 2012 draft. So there are two guys already from Bobby Wagner's draft that have signed. I think so. 2 years for David with $10 million. I think 2 years for Davis, $7.2 million. So there is a market for these guys. And, of course, there should be a market for Bobby Wagner. But Bobby Wagner was bad in coverage last year, so a lot of people don't want that to happen, apparently, according to our Twitter DMs. But there has to be something done at that position because Patrick O'Connell and Drake Thomas are not going to be the only two linebackers that we roll with going into the season. Quick aside, if you enjoyed Seahawks videos, please check out our main Seahawks page. We have a Mariners page, me and my brother, and it's a podcast as well. It's called Mariners on Tap. It's down there. We have a Seahawks page. We did a podcast today posted with Jackson Bevins of Cigar Thoughts. You've probably seen him on YouTube doing Seahawks stuff, so that link's down there too on our Seattle on Tap page. And in general, I have an NBA page as well. If you love basketball, please check it out. And I have my life page where I just talk about content creation and life. They're all in the links in the bio, and any support would be appreciated, especially if you're a Seahawks fan. You got to check out the Seahawks page and our Seahawks podcast / other videos like this. They're amazing. But let's get to the, what are we going to do? Because on top of the linebackers, right, you have to remember, like, there's also safeties out there that are getting signed. Jeremy Chin took a 1-year deal with the Commanders. He was somebody that I thought was a potential for the Seahawks. The list is starting to dwindle down, though, of guys that are the right fit or the right pieces for us. And people are coming at big numbers. And that's where I want to go here, is to look a little bit at the linebacker position and give some of these numbers that came out. So Patrick Queen got the 3-year 41, right? You have Bryce Huff went from the Jets to the Eagles on 3 years, $51 million. Azeez El-Sharir went to Houston from Tennessee, 3 years, $34 million. Jordan Brooks, like I said, he got 3-year 26, it says, but it's really 30 with the bonuses. Blake Cashman got a 3-year $30 million, also pretty much 25.5, but with bonuses, from Houston to Minnesota. Zadarius Smith, outside linebacker, but he got 2 years 23. We're talking about all these guys that have fallen off the list, and there's not much available out there right now. Danielle Hunter just got signed, and most of them are inside linebacker. I mean, Devin White's still there, I believe, right now. Bobby Wagner still there, of course. Isaiah Simmons is not going to be he's not going to be like a middle linebacker or anything. So the list is getting very slim. And I think the best option for the Seahawks right now is possibly just bringing back Bobby Wagner. I know you can go draft someone. You should, but I think bringing back Bobby Wagner might be one of the best options possible at this point. and we look at the safety side, right? Of things like, yes, safeties got cut, but a lot of them got cut. But Xavier McKinney got a 4-year, $68 million deal with Green Bay. Darnell Savage got 3 years, $21 million from Jacksonville. Denver took Brandon Jones, 3 years, $20 million. Kevin Byard got 2 years, 15. Geno Stone, somebody that I thought was going to end up with the Seahawks, potentially got 2 years, 14 from Cincinnati. Obviously, Jeremy Chin just got signed. So who are the free agents? Jamal Adams. We're not going to re-sign him. Justin Simmons. Buda Baker. I'm pretty sure he did an extension. I don't know if he's supposed to be on this list, but I could be crazy. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know, maybe he is completely unsigned. I'm not 100% sure. But Quandre Diggs is actually a potential, actual potential bring back for a cheaper contract type of guy. I think it might not be a bad idea. Jordan Poyer, I think, just got signed. There's also kind of slim pickings. We're not talking about a huge upgrade anywhere there, which is why I think Quandre Diggs would be a decent bring back. I know it sounds crazy that two of the options are giving you a Bobby Wagner, a linebacker, and then bring back Quandre Diggs on a cheaper contract. But those are actually two viable options at this point. There is a reason, I think we waited and we thought that it'd be smart to wait, but I think the market just passed us for a lot of what we're looking for. And yes, it is concerning. You can go to the offensive side as well. We do need a guard, okay? Damian Lewis, and I thought it was a little bit of an overpay, but Damian Lewis got from Carolina 4 years, $53 million. Robert Hunt got from Carolina also 5 years, $100 million. They are doing everything they can do to potentially protect Bryce Young. They even just traded for Darnell Mooney as well. So, or not Darnell Mooney, sorry. Deontay Johnson from the Steelers. So they are trying their best to get them receivers, to get them offensive linemen, all that. Jonah Jackson signed with the Rams, 3 years, $51 million. John Runyan, I can't even say it. New York Giants, 3 years, $30 million. A lot of people are getting paid at the guard position. So we are probably going to have to pay a decent penny to get a guard, and we need one. And don't get me wrong, a lot of these are going to come from draft potentially. There's going to be a lot of guys drafted in these needed spots because you also, if there's not somebody you absolutely love in free agency, you're going to potentially do some, make some signings that are more of patchwork rather than, so to say, a long-term solution. So you might have to draft some guys and see. The center position is going to be interesting as well. I don't know if we're just going to bring Evan Brown back for a super cheap contract and run it back 1 year. He's a guard converted center. And people are saying potentially there's some options, obviously, but there's potential that Olusegun Oluwatumi might be okay. I don't know how they actually feel about him because obviously last year he did not get the spot. So maybe he's not as good as we thought or they thought he was drafting him last year. So overall, there are a lot of holes right now on this team still. And I always like to preach the patience because you should be patient with the Seahawks. They usually find a way at least to be, and you can say here, I know in the comments I might get we're 9-8 the last 2 years. My goodness, this is not enough. I agree it's not enough. We're not bad though. We're never bad because we always find a way to fill in good enough talent here and there. A lot like the Steelers recently. Now that's obviously not where you want to be stuck. So I hope we're not stuck there. But I do think we have to have a little bit of patience, but I am just concerned, like I said, that the market is kind of outrunning us. And there is not a lot that I love that's left out there for a lot of the positions that we still need. Comment below what you think and how you're feeling about all these. I hope it works out, obviously, and I'll be back tomorrow with another Seahawks video. So comment below what you'd like to watch tomorrow, and let's just hope it works out.